he's got to be glad that he's retired, does not have to deal with Shaquille. Shaq just bullying Alonzo, Mourning down low. Gets whistled for his third foul, does Shaq. So Miami trying to take advantage. Mourning coming up with a big two-handed follow slam. 19 in the first half. Miami by 13 at the break, but then Shaq returns in the third quarter with a vengeance. Not one block on Mourning, not two, but three. He had 4 blocks in the third quarter. Showing some offense, too, to go with his 28 points. This sweet pass to Kobe Bryant for the slam. Suddenly, the Lakers tied up at 59. Zoe trying to get in the act. He did have 33 points in the game, but the Lakers just too strong with a two-pronged attack. Shaq and Kobe Bryant there, the driving layup by Kobe, and the short jumper. He had 23 as the Lakers snapped Miami's 13-game home winning streak and only confirmed their standing as the team to beat in the playoffs.
A lot of young players
we played well today, and we played good defense. And Kobe stepped up, Glenn stepped up. Like I said, it was a great team effort, and we're just happy to get a good win. I'm on a mission this year. We're all playing hard. I'm knick-knack injury-free, so hopefully we can do well in the playoffs, go all the way, get the ring.
You don't have to give them credit. You just got to say they're good. They they just rolled us in the third quarter.
Another guy right behind Shaq in the race for the scoring lead in the NBA, Philadelphia's Allen Iverson. He had 20 in the first half alone Monday in Charlotte, finished with 25. Fourth quarter, the Hornets hanging tough. Eddie Jones drives and slams. He had 28. But late in the contest, with the shot clock winding down, the Sixers looking to seal it, and do. And George Lynch hits the tough off-balance jumper. Philly wins it by 6, and they're currently 5th in the Eastern Conference playoff stand.
Done it in style on Monday. Kobe challenged the laws of gravity once again by coming up with this amazing lay-in. Remind you of anyone? Kobe and Vince Carter continue the battle to see who is the league's most exciting player. Kobe gets some brownie points for this move, and our play of the day. Where Toronto were looking to win their 7th home game in a row. Some physical play early. Watch the drive by Vince Carter, and he hits Jim McIlvaine, and the New Jersey center actually is knocked unconscious. Take another look at it. McIlvaine not only was knocked unconscious and was bleeding a little bit, but he was also hit with a blocking foul.
This year, hasn't he?
He just can't get going for McIlvaine. Late in the first half, the Raptors take the lead. Muggsy Bogues, he's been around for a while, and that's why second half Carter had some problems with his wrist, little injury, and that would show in his shooting touch. Right here, short jumper, can't connect. And later on, tries it from long range and can't find the net either. Bad night for him. 5 for 18 on his field goal attempts. He still had 23 points. Nets rally behind Stephon Marbury. Late in the game, he had 18 points, 2 big drives right here. The Nets with a shocker. In Toronto, they win, and they move within 2 games of Orlando for the 8th playoff spot in the East. In Minnesota, the Timberwolves tried to avoid an upset against the struggling Cavaliers. Terrell Brandon with one of his career-high 16 assists to Wally Zerbiak. That's Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura looking on. Andre Miller for the slam. No, he misses it. Cleveland having a tough time, and Kevin Garnett shows Andre Miller how it's done. The big flush by the big ticket. Jesse Ventura is enjoying that. Well, after trailing by 12, the T-Wolves come back, and it's all Garnett. Gets the foul in the bucket there, and then later on the offensive boards, puts it back in. And the T-Wolves go on to win this one.
Cavaliers will dig on
with some help from Joe Smith in overtime. The T-Wolves rise to a franchise-best 14 games above 500.
Is averaging just 24 minutes and 10 points per game this season, well below his career average. His top guards hooked up in Wednesday in Philly, the 76ers' Allen Iverson and Toronto's Vince Carter. Early on, scary moment for the Sixers. Antonio Davis falls into the 76ers' George Lynch, who sprains his knee, and a very valuable member of the team would not return. End of the first quarter, Raptors on the inbounds play. Check it out, Vince Carter getting it done at the buzzer. He had 26 points. And NBA legend Oscar Robertson quite impressed. Toronto by 2 after 1. Third quarter, Sixers up 5, and that's when Allen Iverson went to work. The high floater plus the foul. Toronto coach Butch Carter stoic, and he would have to stomach a lot more from Iverson. The high arcing floater, and then a beautiful finger roll. Iverson with 44 points. Yeah, he hears the cheers. 106-93, the Sixers win it in an important game with regard to playoff positioning. Sacramento visiting Phoenix. Kings flashy guard Jason Williams got a little bit too flashy here, turns it over, and it's Jason Kidd with the gorgeous running alley-oop to Toby Bailey. Suns owner Jerry Colangelo checking it out. Second quarter off the Tyrone Corbin miss. Jason Williams, check this out, the one-hand dish to Scott Pollard for the lay-in and the foul. The Suns were up by 2 at that point. Later on in the second quarter, bad news for the Suns. Suns guard Jason Kidd, broken left ankle, out for the rest of the regular season and possibly the playoffs. Third quarter.
What a pass to Divac.
Suns.
He looks for that one. He's hit right in the
Luke
face.
Longley, the big elbow there on Serbian Vlade Divac, big knot on his head. Suns carrying on without Kidd. That's Sean Marion, the little lay-in. Then he would bury a short turnaround jumper as Vlade and company take it on the forehead, so to speak. They win 114-93, but Kidd's injury very close.
Charlotte gegen Philadelphia war lange Zeit hart umkämpft und folglich eng. Allen Iverson für 2 seiner 25 Punkte. Im zweiten Viertel nahm dann die Intensität zu. Coleman trifft nicht in den Ring. Kukoc mit dem Rebound und dann trifft Coleman den Ball nicht, sondern nur den armen Tony. Kukoc musste am Auge genäht werden. Mit der Handkante erst eine Rasur auf der rechten Seite und dann spaltet er fast Arm und Bein des Kroaten. Klare Entscheidung, Coleman musste in die Kabine. Kukoc war nochmal mit dem berühmten blauen Auge davongekommen. Zumindest zeigte er in der Folge keine Ausfallerscheinungen. Im Gegenteil, 9 Punkte für ihn. Im dritten Viertel ging es dann wieder zur Sache. 115 Kilogramm gegen 92. Mason gegen McKee. Aber bis auf 2 technische Fouls passierte nicht viel. Zurück zum Basketball. Mason auf Topscorer Eddie Jones und Charlotte führt. Und wieder Eddie Jones, diesmal als The Eagle für 28 Punkte. Doch die Sixers kamen zurück und Aaron McKee besiegelte den 102-96 Erfolg seiner Sixers.
Früh live auf Premiere World, die Landeier aus Sacramento gegen die harten Jungs aus dem Big Apple. Die Sacramento Kings gegen die New York Knicks. Das Ganze wird wiederholt am Mittwochabend um 0 Uhr im DSF.
Allen, he had 26 in this game. And then check out the work by Sam Cassell. Spinning, popping, and hitting. He had 30 in this game. Allen finishing up a 105-84 victory over a team that has been tough as nails at home this season.
And after Rick Fox almost loses the ball as he tries to dribble up the floor, Kobe Bryant fakes and then passes to Shaquille O'Neal, who comes up with the alley-oop. Kobe with all the right moves to make Shaq look good and pick up our world sport play of the day.
They trying to snap a 2-game losing streak to the Knicks, but Patrick Ewing was trying to ensure that that streak continued early on. 4-point series. He had 13 in the first half, and that was by how many New York was up at the break. Scottie Pippen came up with some big defense in the second half, keeping the Blazers close. A big block on Latrell Sprewell, and then again, swatting Allen Houston's shot away onto the fourth quarter where Damon Stoudemire catches fire. Tough runner right there, and then drives, penetrates, and a little pull-up jumper. Nice touch, and the Blazers are just down 1. But it would not be enough in the end because Patrick Ewing comes up with a big block on Scottie Pippen as the Knicks win this one by 4. And now here in
Indianapolis, thanks in part to the play of the day, which was turned in by Florida center Donnell Harvey. Boom! That is an exclamation mark on a 77-65 victory as the Gators became the first 5 seed ever to advance to the Final Four, and they nailed down our world sport play of the day.
Moment early on for the Spurs. Andre Miller drives and Tim Duncan goes up for the block and comes down hard. But the big center or forward was just shaken up, not injured. And Duncan got off the floor to give a typically energetic display, here getting the hook shot over Sean Kemp. San Antonio had won 9 out of their last 10 against the Cavs. David Robinson cutting the Cavs' lead to just 1 at the half. Duncan had 17 points, 17 rebounds, and 11 assists for the first triple-double of his career. The Spurs clinch a playoff berth with a runaway victory.
Watch the penetration, he's going to the basket! It's a megawatt edition of This Week in the NBA, featuring Vince Carter and Kevin Garnett, packed on the same court. Same thing can be said of the Sixers-Pacers matchup. Iverson, Miller. Oh yeah, and we can't forget that a Rose by any other name would not be this deadly. If you stare into the sun, you'll see spots. If you stare at the Suns roster, don't worry, nothing wrong with your vision. That really is Kevin Johnson.
It's just good to be back, and I never thought I'd say this, but it's kind of good to see you guys too.
We'll have the story of one of the league's most consistent and consistently overlooked players.
You're in the league. It's 29 teams, and no matter where you are, if you're a good player, they're going to come and find you, and they're going to talk about you.
And Michael Jordan speaks out on the NBA's creation of new stars. They just don't grow them like they used to. Today's matchup with the East leading Pacers. Philly has moved into sole possession of the 4th spot. Now, what makes the matchup even more intriguing is that Indiana sits atop the East and was on its own 4-game roll until losing to Milwaukee Thursday. And Jalen Rose has become a key ingredient to the Pacers' success this season, getting shots, gaining confidence, and earning a lot of respect from his peers. The focus, Toronto Raptors, they have lost 3 straight. Vince Carter's coming off a game in which he failed to score at least 20 points for the first time in 24 games. He admits he's had a lot of outside distractions lately, media attention, Olympic team, etc. But a primetime matchup and a game with another young star, Kevin Garnett, awaits. And though it's about team, one always wants to shine. Garnett is on pace to become only the 9th player ever to average 20 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists per game. You can talk all you want about the big money Garnett is making, but I'll tell you what, he works for it. His 40 minutes...
Boy, take it to the basket. He's very unselfish. He loves to play. Here he is taking the ball against Moore, and here's a 7-footer going right to the hoop. He can rebound, follow his shots. He's a tremendous basketball player, unselfish. Everything goes through him. Then you got Terrell Brandon from Minnesota. Penetrates, breaks the defense down, passes out for the easy shot, can run the break. Many people thought Brandon was a little soft at guard. So let's put KJ at the point where he belongs. They have Livingston to back him up, leave Penny at the 2 spot. The one thing that they'll really miss, the frontline players of Phoenix will really miss Jason.
Maybe to a more veteran team where I could learn a lot, because he's on a team with a lot of young guys. But, you know, we're certainly happy that he chose to stay, and that says a lot about him and his character.
As if, you know, we could turn that thing around in Vancouver, and me being, you know, one of the cornerstones, it would be a big accomplishment.
Abdur-Rahim's difference from other stars, no cute commercials, no trash talk, and now, no tattoos either. He actually had his removed because one of his 5 younger brothers came home with one.
Being the age he is, it's tough to be on a struggling team whether you're a good player or not. You know, I think you get a label of being guys who don't want to win or, you know, not winners or that sort of thing, just because, you know, life, everything is about, you know, the people who finish first.
Over the last 3 years, only Karl Malone, Allen Iverson, and Mitch Richmond have scored more points than Abdur-Rahim, who's never been an all-star. The baskets still count in the shadows, but the wins, those are harder to find. I'm Tom Rinaldi.
And to illustrate that point, we show you...
Somebody has to score for the team, but when you lose and get no national exposure, it's very difficult. But here's a player, in my opinion, who's going to be a star for a long time. He has great hands, he's got long arms, he can score in traffic.
Our FedEx delivery of the week comes from Tuesday's Knicks-Pacers game. Chris Childs from half court to Marcus Camby. Nice connection. Even though the Knicks lose, they make our FedEx delivery of the week.
Reluctant to do so. A lot of people talked about how he wanted to go to school and what have you, but his thing was from what my sources tell me, he received a cold shoulder from numerous players during All-Star Weekend, and that really depressed him to some degree, and he was hesitant to commit 6 to say all the right things. But my sources tell me that privately he did want to play, and he made overtures to the league that he would be willing to participate in the Olympic Games. Kobe is a very intelligent young man, and he's aware of all the hype and publicity that somebody like Vince
We'll talk about the Lakers' success as it relates not only to Shaq and his MVP-type season, but as it relates to Phil Jackson. And
New Jersey hosting Toronto in the NBA. The Nets fighting for the final playoff spot in the East. And Keith Van Horn with the lay-in, with the Nets up by 29 at the half. Vince Carter led a Toronto fight back, and after the jumper here, he follows it up with a lay-in, scoring 17 points in the third quarter as the Raptors cut the deficit to just 4. But with a season-high 32 points, Van Horn guides New Jersey home to keep alive their playoff hopes.
Basketball Final Four in Indianapolis. This is Toby Carberry of Vermont juggling 3 balls and then throws the red, white, and blue ball. You know it as the money ball. Slams it in reverse style. And this is Steve Smith from St. Francis. The 360 over a person. And he would advance to the finals where he used this dunk to the win. Goes over 2 ball racks and a sofa for the one-handed slam of Vince Carter or Kobe Bryant of tomorrow. Well, perhaps, but for right now, Smith settles in nicely with our World Sport Play of the Day.
Started strongly. Eddie Jones with 18 points in the first half alone, with the scores tied at 57. The Raptors trying to get it going in the third quarter. Vince Carter with the jam. And then great defense from the Hornets after the steal. Eddie Jones gets the hoop and also the foul. The game would go into overtime. David Wesley drills the jumper for the Hornets as they overtake the Raptors for 5th place in the Eastern Conference. Sacramento at Seattle, and after the interception by the glove Gary Payton, Payton finds Ruben Patterson, who slams it home. Sonics racing to a 14-point lead in the first quarter. Jason Williams did his best to turn things around for the Kings, faking the pass to Chris Webber and making the layup. But Payton won't let up. Off the miss, he gets the rebound and finds Rashard Lewis for the alley-oop lay-in. With their victory, the Sonics become the final team to clinch a playoff berth in the Western Conference. And now let's check out other NBA scores on Friday night from the U.S.
I treat highlights like I do it for the fans. I don't even think about it. It just happens. What's the team? And I'm just excited about the opportunity. One, for the team, and because it's helping us play better, believe it or not. We're getting the attention. And I think we're starting to believe in ourselves a lot.
Everybody seems to believe in you. And the Toronto Raptors have really, you sit in their 4 rows back, everybody was marveling at what you were doing. Do you not only, A, remember that weekend, obviously you do, but realize the impact maybe that weekend had, not only on the Raptors, but certainly on yourself in the NBA?
I'm just glad it helped the Raptors more than anything. Me, it's just wonderful. It was wonderful. It is a chance for me to go out there and do the thing, and one of the things that I like to do. It's just a wonderful experience and do my best.
Looking ahead for Carter, watch out! It's obvious.
I'm just me. You know, I just playing to win. You know, I don't know about the next man, the next carrying the mantle or anything like that. It's just, I know I can't be him. I'm not like him. I'm not the tough player he is. I'm just Vince, who's in his second year, just trying to make it to the playoffs for the Toronto Raptors, who's having a lot of fun. Guys, or coach, hopefully you understand my ultimate goal is just really to get this team as far as we can and make us a popular franchise and a winning franchise. So I really try to put all my focus into that and let everybody get the accolades and all the attention, not just me.
Very well, but of Antonio Davis, Charles Oakley, and Kevin Willis, they're 3 big men. Only Antonio Davis is averaging in double figures in points, and none of them are averaging double figures in rebounds. So what you have is a team that really lacks.
The Magic afloat in the Eastern Conference playoff picture, but were it not for the Magnificent Seven, that might not be the case. We're back after a timeout and this.
Time now for the Federal Express delivery of the week. For that, it's the Raptors and the Hornets, and this is better than the movie Cousins. Tracy McGrady to Vince Carter on the one-handed alley-oop slam. That's worth another look. And that's your Federal Express Delivery of the Week.
Go behind the scenes. Check out the matchups, scores, and highlights.
With the loss of Jason Kidd. Johnson doing okay in the second quarter. Drives past Bobby Jackson and scores on the tough layup. The T-Wolves would jump out to a 9-point lead at the half. Terrell Brandon to Kevin Garnett, and he gets the big slam. More Wolves in the third quarter. Watch the pass by Joe Smith. Finds Garnett, and he finds the bucket and gets the foul. 14 points for the big ticket. But the Suns come back, and it's Kevin Johnson leading them back. Drains the jumper there. The Suns down by 11. More Suns. This time it's Penny Hardaway with a big slam after a pass from KJ, and the Suns are within 4. Still fourth quarter. Suns down by 1, and Hardaway hits the jumper. So Phoenix takes a 1-point lead. Time winding down. Minnesota trying to get a winning shot. Joe Smith can't hit it. And Phoenix gets the rebound. They hold on to win their third straight game. And now here's a look at all of the NBA scores from Sunday. The Lakers won for the 28th time in 29 games, and they did it in style. Watch the alley-oop. Brian Shaw to Shaquille O'Neal and the Diesel with a big slam. He had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 blocks. The Lakers with another win, and with a Shaw-Shaq redemption play of the day.
30 Eastern. The Magic have won 7 of their last 8 games and face only 3 playoff teams in their final 7, Philly, Miami, and Toronto, but they go head-to-head twice with the Bucks. Game number 1 is Monday in Milwaukee. The Sixers, meanwhile, well, they've lost 3 of their last 5 games. The wins coming against the Hawks and the Celtics. Philadelphia's chances of gaining ground on the Knicks for that 3rd playoff spot seems to be fading, but Coach Larry Brown is not concerned with seeds.
In the starting lineup, he gives them that defensive presence, that tough rebound, and that rough, rugged, and raw kind of play that the Sixers so desperately lack in that 3-game losing
team in the NBA. He's a leader, plays 100%, gives full effort, can score, block shots, defend. Pretty good passer for a big man. He can play with anybody. Then you had the little point guard, Darrell Armstrong. I think will be a future all-star in the NBA. Terrific competitor, can lead the fast break, make the outside shot, has 3-point range, and will compete every single minute on the floor. He and Outlaw are the leaders of a club, and then you add the young players. You have McGetty.
Well, speaking of deliveries, the Lakers ran out of diesel fuel Saturday night. With Mr. O'Neal out, who would bring the goods? Well, we're talking purple and gold after the break. Or play against the Spurs Saturday night. X-rays show no fracture or no ligament damage. And despite losing to the Spurs last yes, no new instruments, no new songs, but like Steely Dan, same good beat after all these years. Must be the shoes. Also ahead, an interesting possibility for the possible return to the sidelines for Isaiah Thomas. We'll tell you where Zeke's building a home next.
Time now for our Federal Express Delivery of the Week, and an old tandem with a twist. This time it's Karl Malone to John Stockton, the nice pass. Let's take another look at the mailman delivering our Federal Express Delivery of the Week.
A decade. His team reflects the intensity that helped Sloan become the first Chicago Bull to have his number retired. Now, not many outside of the Jazz locker room believed they would be where they are now when the season began, but their success is part of Sloan's legacy. He trained the Lakers, clearly have the bullseye on their backs. Is there any hope for the East? We'll explore that question after a real fast break.
Miami late in the fourth quarter. Check out the work by Patrick Ewing. The rebound. Kicks it out to Latrell Sprewell for 3. He misses, but Ewing, the follow-up tip, can't get it to go, but he boards it, kicks it out to Allen Houston, over to Chris Childs, who drains the 3 with 11 seconds to go. And we went to overtime. In overtime, Houston with the tough shot. Patrick again working hard with a follow-up, and the Knicks up by 3. Now, late in the game, Miami trailing by 2. This is Tim Hardaway for the win. Off balance. Sometimes it pays to be a little lucky as well. Nicely done, though. Miami wins 95-94, and they now lead the Knicks by 3 games for the Atlantic Division title with 6 games. Close to the Indiana Pacers. Controversy inside a half-minute to play. Patrick Ewing appears to touch the ball in the cylinder, which is a no-no, but no call. Referee Joey Crawford later admitting that he blew the call. Now, just seconds left in the game. Tie game. Ewing, a rare clutch turnaround jumper for the lead. Indiana with one final chance, but Reggie Miller's shot bounces off the rack, and Ewing and the Knicks move within 3 games of Indiana for the best record in the Eastern Conference.
More drama in Washington, D.C., where Michael Jordan's Wizards took on Charlotte. Anthony Mason putting the Hornets up by 2 with just 2.8 seconds left, but Mitch Richmond is fouled. He would hit 2 free throws, tying the game at 105. No problem for the Hornets. They go down to Eldon Campbell, and he finds the hoop. The Hornets stinging the Wizards and winning for the 9th time in 11 games.
Now, the artist formerly known as on hand for a great game between Detroit and Minnesota. 3rd quarter, Vladislav Nesterovic shot was blocked. No foul called. Timberwolves coach Flip Saunders can't believe it. Neither can Governor Jesse Ventura. 4th quarter, Timberwolves. Look at Kevin Garnett just muscling away to the glass. Timberwolves by 6 at that point. Now under 20 seconds left. Grant Hill driving to the lane. And then later, it's Kevin Garnett for the win for the Timberwolves. Got it. This guy's getting used to doing this. Very Jordan-esque, and the Timberwolves win a thriller by a final of 102-100.
We're not done yet. In Los Angeles, the Lakers took on Seattle without Shaquille O'Neal, who's still out with an ankle injury. End of the 1st quarter, Ruben Patterson throws up a prayer, and it finds the bottom of the net. Premonition of things to come. 4th quarter, Sonics down 2. Shamon Williams with 2 of his career-high 28 points, tying it up at 90. After Williams hit 2 free throws, the Lakers need a bucket for the tie. No problem for Glenn Rice. And we go to overtime in OT. Bryant takes over. Watch Kobe. Circus move, bank and in. 33 points for him. And the Lakers win by 3.
And this is a fine play of the day. Check out the inbounds. You got to check Vince Carter, or he will do that to you. Over everyone, Carter with the 19th career play of the day out of a projected 189. World Sport play of the day.
Action, Sacramento hosting San Antonio, and the Kings get off to a great start. Jason Williams to Weber, and he gets the big slam. Spurs come back in the 1st half, though. Tim Duncan, the big slam down the lane. He limped a little bit, but would be okay, and played the rest of the game. Spurs up by 1 at the half. Williams leads the Kings back in the 2nd. Great steal and slam, and then Williams all pumped up, and watch what he does. He gets a bite of popcorn from one of the fans. Jason enjoying it, but he wouldn't enjoy the game later on, although the Spurs do miss a chance to win the game in regulation. We go to overtime. Spurs trying to jog for playoff position, creep into the 4th position, and to Robinson get home court advantage in the 1st round. David Robinson gives them a big win, 26 points, 14 rebounds. The Spurs snap a 3-game losing streak to the Kings.
Toronto Raptors in Indiana looking to nail down a playoff berth. That's Tracy McGrady with a big alley-oop slam, and then his cousin Vince Carter getting in the act. Vince had 28 as the Raptors led by 3 at the half. Built a 7-point lead in the 4th quarter, but here come the Pacers. Jalen Rose with the 18-foot jumper. He had 24, and then Austin Crocier is going to kick it out to Reggie Miller for the 3 and the lead. Now, late in the game, the Raptors needing a 3 to tie, but Vince Carter unintentionally only taking the 2-pointer, missed anyway. Toronto loses 77-73, but they still clinched a playoff berth by virtue of Orlando's loss to Boston.